Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake, and today I have an early review for you. Last review we did was Jason Goes to Hell. Now, we're going to the opposite of hell, deep space, all the way up with Jason X. Again, we got some nice crispy gloss pops in this sucker. Two very weird bipolar Jason movies are hitting 4K along with the reboot from Arrow Video. Both of these editions that I talked about, Jason Goes to Hell and the reboot, are very strong contenders for amazing physical media releases, and releases I'm happy to have in the collection. How does Jason X stand up to those other two? I'll let you know here soon, but if you like physical media reviews, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to pump these out as fastly as I can. Fastly, massly. I don't even have time to talk, okay? But I have three main factors when it comes to physical media that I like to rate on. One of them is the TNA effect, the transfer in audio. Another one is the packaging. And the third aspect are the special features. But let's waste no more time and get into the transfer of the movie. And when I'm talking about the transfer, I will also be talking about my thoughts of the movie. Those two kind of go hand in hand. You're talking about the movie and you're talking about how the movie looks. And backstory for me, for Jason X, this was the first Friday the 13th movie that I ever saw. For better or for worse, this was streaming on Stars all the time. And I was never a big horror person at all either. I didn't really get into my love of horror movies until I was in like my mid to late 20s. And then everything finally clicked and I just dug in and sunk my teeth into as many horror movies as I possibly could. But in the high school days, I was mostly a comedy guy. I'm mostly an action guy. I had no idea why people liked horror movies. I was one of those guys. But I watch Jason X because this movie is a horror movie and it's in the Friday the 13th franchise, but it's very comedic. It's definitely tongue-in-cheek. It does not take itself seriously at all, and you can tell that throughout the entire film, whether it be some 1980s girls getting kind of transformed into a computer database and Jason killing them because he does not like them having premarital sex. That's probably the main reason why I tried to watch this movie as much as I did on Stars. I would flip there like, is the scene on? Oh, it's not? Okay, I'll watch something else. But there's also some fun, amazing kills in this as well. Minor spoilers here. It's kind of hard not to talk about the kills in the movie when you're talking about the movie. But you have the infamous, two things I would look for when I was flipping through Stars. The scene with the two girls in the sleeping bags and the kill with the blonde getting her head shoved into the liquid nitrogen, and the effect they used was amazing. One thing when I was watching the special features afterwards that I did not know is that the same person that did the special features on Jason X also did the special features for The Fly, David Cronenberg's The Fly. And there are a few people in David Cronenberg's world that worked on Jason X. And in fact, David Cronenberg himself is in the film at the very beginning. I'm pretty positive if you're watching this, you already know that. It's just kind of cool to see him in this giant mega franchise and him not tripping over his lines or making an ass out of himself. He had a very cool role, and the main reason, or the main sticking factor for him doing this movie was to actually be killed by Jason Voorhees. That was like his one thing. Okay, if I do this, I have to be killed on screen. And he was, and it was fun. But one thing that was not that fun with this in particular transfer from Arrow Video was the whole transfer. The way this movie looks, it's never going to pop like mad. I would say the highlights for the transfer for me, when you're in the space station and there's metal all around you, the metal pops there are great. But even a lot of facial features in this transfer fall flat. There's no texture pops. You can't see a lot of like what you would normally see like in close-ups of faces on a lot of transfers, where you can see different pores and sweat and all of that stuff. None of that is here. It's like whatever filter that they used for this movie to get it from 35 millimeter where they shot it on and moved, digitized to computers, something got lost in the shuffle, and this thing just kind of looks it never really looked sharp, and it doesn't look sharp now on 4K. Kind of disappointed in the transfer, because I also have the Blu-ray from the amazing Friday the 13th physical media box set that Scream Factory put out. I almost prefer this transfer more than this transfer. If you have this in your collection, I think you're fine keeping this and not doing the upgrade if you're just looking for a transfer upgrade, because the transfer here is not the best. The sound, I mean, the transfer, they use Dolby Vision, they use HDR10, that magic sauce. For whatever reason, the original transfer that Jason X is on just didn't do much for me. The audio still uses the same 5.1 track as well, just like they did with the other 4K upgrade for Jason Goes to Hell. Sounds fine. Again, I have my sound bar, the 5.1 sound bar with the subwoofer. Sounds great, but I mainly like to go into 4Ks for the transfer. Transfer was not hitting on all cylinders. It wasn't hitting on half the cylinders, if I'm being honest. This is probably the lowest transfer and audio score that I've ever given on the channel, but I have to be honest with you. For me, transfer and audio is getting a 4. It's not even average. It's not your average 4K release here. It is subpar. There are only sprinkles of scenes that actually utilize the 4K aspect of it all. And I was underwhelmed by watching the movie, and I like this movie. Here's my review of Jason X. I have a lot of nostalgic feelings for this movie. Again, I like how it's just a mixture of Friday the 13th and Aliens, and they're trying to mix it together. I don't know. The movie has never looked good, and this is going to be the definitive edition of what we get for this movie. And that kind of stinks on the transfer side. But we can talk about the packaging now. Packaging hits just as hard as all of these other Arrow Video releases. Again, the gloss pop. And again, now you have Uber Jason to talk about. I love Uber Jason. He's only on screen for what, maybe 10 minutes? But his 10 minutes are very memorable for me. Absolutely love how they put him on the slip here. They have the space in the middle. And then like some frosted or cryo-chambered Jason cryovac. No, definitely not. On the back here, you get, again, your huge line of text that Arrow Video always does on all of their releases. The reversible artwork here, though. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. We have the iconic Jason X poster. I'm going to give the two a little look-see over here. I would say that this 4K poster of Jason X is a little darker than the Jason X Scream Factory edition right there. It looks a little, looking at them back to back, this looks a little stretched out, does it not? You know, they both look great. They're both the same image, but a little bit difference in like color quality, color tones on the release for Arrow Video here. Again, a shot of the back. If you don't get Jason X with the slip, which would be a dang shame, you always can go and give that original artwork right here. For the reversible artwork, here is the artwork for the disc. You know, you got that same artwork, you got it. You might as well use it 3 times on the release, you know? Here is a double-sided poster that you get of the 2 artworks 4 times. You got to utilize that new artwork 4 separate times. I wish that they would put different stuff on the discs on all of these, if I'm being honest. The promo card is for a simple plan. I will take that. Love that movie so much. And then the booklet here is a whole bunch of different space-related items. You get the chopped limb that happens to Jason Voorhees later in the movie. You get stuff about the robot. I don't know. It's fine. Here are some images from the movie. Boom, boom, boom. There's Uber Jason in all of his very metalized glory. I like it. I like this. I don't know if it's feeling samey. I gave this a 9 out of 10 when it came to the packaging. I'm gonna give this a 9 as well because it's playing the hits. Again, there's no chunky box for this release. I'm a-okay with that. And I think just for shots and giggles here, I'm gonna put all 3 of these up, and I have to say that all 3 of these together look mighty, mighty nice. That kind of goes into the 9 out of 10 packaging wise that I have to give all 3 of these releases because they all do a stellar job. But now let's go to the third aspect of how I grade physical media reviews, and that is on the special features. And here is where, again, compared to the reboot and compared to Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X just kind of gets another step down when it comes to special features, because the only new special feature here is a composer interview. Harry Manfredini, I want to say is his name. They already had him interviewed for Jason Goes to Hell, so if you're talking about 9 and he did the score for 10, you might as well get him to talk about Jason X. The interview is less than 10 minutes long. He pretty much just plays the hits and barely talks about his scores. He talks more about the movie on a very, very base level, and some of the kills on a very base level, and some very, very minuscule memories of what he did to make the score. Like, oh yeah, there's a scene where the girl is ready to kill Jason Voorhees, so I put some guitar licks in there, and I don't know. I did not get a lot out of his interview at all. On the good side of things, there are a lot of archival special features that are on this Scream Factory release. And when Scream Factory put out their edition, they loaded this sucker up with a lot of great, amazing special features. They have Scream Factory made their own, it's like 35-minute making of documentary with 3 main people that were part of making the movie. Sean S. Cunningham, Noel Cunningham, Hayne Cotter, Christy Angus, and Todd Farmer, I want to say is the other guy's name. That is also on here, both on here and on here. There's also archival documentaries from DVD releases past. My favorite one had to be this one was about half an hour too, talking about the legacy of Jason Voorhees, which is very, very cool. And the cherry on top for me, like, again, made in like 2000 to 2002, sometime in that time frame. They interview a lot of great people within the horror movie realm. They had Joe Bob, they had Kane Hodder. They had a whole bunch of just like people that were in the movies, but they also had the dynamic duo from the movie American Movie, and them talking about the Jason Voorhees franchise was very, very entertaining. I would say out of the 3 documentaries, that's the one I probably liked the most, but all 3 of them are worth a watch, because the third documentary on here is just an archival making of Jason X, and that's where you learn a lot about how the special effects that they're putting in this are very state-of-the-art, even though they were state-of-the-art when they were making this in like 99 into 2000. The movie got released a couple years later. Even the state-of-the-art graphics that they used in 99, 2000 did not really carry a lot of mustard in 2002 when the movie finally got released. There's a very mixed response to this movie when it came out. They kind of go over that in the special features as well. There's a ton of special features on here, man. Again, Red Shirt Pictures. I did not talk about that for Jason Goes to Hell, but Michael Fletcher over at Red Shirt Pictures did a lot of the new special features, did all the new special features, honestly, and he did commentaries on both of these. Kind of cool to see him getting in that boat. But special features wise on here, it's kind of a slippery slope, because the best stuff on here is the archival stuff. Again, if you have the box set for the whole Friday the whole Friday the 13th franchise, excuse me, you might feel obligated to get the 4K upgrade for the reboot, and you might feel obligated to get the 4K for Jason Goes to Hell. I am sorry to tell you, but I feel like this is not needed in your collection. You might feel the need to be a completionist, but this is the only swing and a miss for me when it comes to Arrow Video 4K Jason Voorhees content. Special feature wise, even though I like what's on here, a lot of it's archival. I'm going to give the special features on here a 7 because they only did one new, and that wasn't the best. And all of this other stuff is already on releases that I currently own. If you don't own the box set, of course pick this up, because this will be the best version that you can possibly get. But let's see here, 9, 7, 16, plus 4, Jason X gets a total score of 20 out of 30 for this whole package. The whole physical media kit and caboodle, 20 out of 30. And to me, that honestly kind of makes sense. The transfer, by far, one of the weakest 4Ks I have seen in the year. I wish there was a little bit new special features to kind of have me sprinkle a little bit of generosity its way, a little bit more digging deep into the special features. I just wanted more. I think that's just my tagline of what this should be. I just wanted more. And that stinks because I enjoy this movie quite a bit. Do you like Jason X? Let me know in the comments if you do or not. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see ya. In space, no one can hear you scream. Unless the scream is an orgasm. Hi, everybody. If you made it this far, congratulations. You found the after credit scene. Good for you. Good for you. In the last Friday the 13th bonus after credit scene for my review, I talked a little bit into a different realm with Jason Voorhees. For here, I gotta play the hits. There's a lot of great kills in this installment, whether that be, again, the cryovac kill or the kill where the guy kind of goes around the spiral drill. I love that one. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of campiness in this movie whose franchise started at a camp. So I don't know why I like this movie so much. I know it's not the greatest, but I love how much... I love the characters in this movie. I feel like the characters are a little bit more than one note. They're more developed than the characters that were in Jason Goes to Hell, or I cared a lot more about these characters than I did these characters. My question for you: what is your favorite kill in the whole Friday the 13th franchise? There's so many that you can choose from. I don't know if I have the answer off the top of my head, so if you do, please let me know. That's all I got for you today. To end the movie, let's go with the very iconic poster artwork. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!